Alrighty, folks. How are we all doing right now? Hopefully well. Here we go. What's happening, everyone? My name is Von Yvonne. I am going to be with you for about the next 2.5 hours or so as I ever so smoothly bridge the gap into the final day of this run as we transition into Sunday. At least it's not Sunday for me yet. I am going to be starting out by doing a run of a very magnificent game here that you might recognize if you've been around me, like at all here on Twitch. It is Neutopia for the TurboGrafx 16. We'll be doing the any percent route, and we're going to get that started in 3, 2, 1 now. So here's your lore. The evil wizard Dearth beams himself down into Neutopia in the middle of the night, only to abscond with the Princess Aurora. And in so doing, he summons our hero. Everyone, say hello to Jazeta. Jazeta is now getting a lecture from the Temple Mother, telling him about what he will need to do, which is to collect the 8 medallions of wisdom from the forefathers of years past, affix them here in the temple, and that is going to open the door behind her, which will reveal the portal to Dearth's evil lair on the North Pole. So away we go. First thing we're going to do, though, is a little pit stop over here to grab some stuff. Oops, no, we're just going to get hit by this guy instead. Okay, cool. We're going to talk to this guy a little bit. And then we're going to pick up some bombs and some medicine. All right. Those will be very useful for us throughout our mission. And I'll explain a little more about that when they become relevant. Oh, man. Looks like our connection here is a little dirty. I'll see if I can fix that when I have good time. Alright. Right now we're going to be picking up a very important item. This is the Fire Wand. We're going to use this to attack enemies from a distance, which is going to be rather important in this game. Oops. Hello, no. Just get out of my way. Alright. It is it's laggy for everyone. I have a poor connection to our server, which is, a thing that happens. So I will try to find an appropriate time to fix this. So just bear with for a minute. There's nothing particularly exciting going on here, so at least not in the first couple of minutes. So you're not really missing anything. But in fact, I might just take a minute here when I talk to this guy here to do this. So in fact, you know what? Everybody just stand by. I'm going to take the stream down for just a few seconds and then come right back. So nobody go anywhere. Nobody panic. In fact, can we pause the timer? We can. Yeah. We'll just pause the timer. I'll be right back. Okay. We should be much better now. already looking much smoother for me, so hopefully it is the same for you. Anyway, so what I just did there was I talked to the guy in the cave, and he gave me an extra segment of life. Oh my god, I walked right into him. What am I doing? So this will give us a little extra safety here. I'm doing the any % route, which, you know, just by nature is going to be less safe than the 100% route. The 100% route is always one that I recommend for people that are wanting to get into this game, as I think it's much easier for... oh, here we go. I think it's much easier for learning the game, as you're going to get more stuff that is going to be useful and, you know, give you room for error when you are getting into this game, because a lot of the combat and stuff is not easy. It can be rather unforgiving, so having that extra, you know, having the extra armor or life segments or whatnot to get through some of the trickier sections is definitely beneficial. But any %... Oh no. Oh no. Hold on. Uh-oh. Oh, jeez, wow. Can this just go normally? Hold on a second. Come on. Be nice. Be nice. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Oh my god. Okay, we should be good. The controller that I'm using is... The controller that I'm using is being held together with baling wire and duct tape, so it just decides to kind of do its own thing every once in a while. Ooh, I want those bombs. Alright. Alright, so let's, like, explain stuff. So, like I said, we have to get 8 medallions of wisdom, and we get those in the 8 crypts that are spread throughout the world. Now, the overworld that we're going through here is actually split up into 4 sections, which are done in a linear order. We start with the land sphere, then we do the subterranean sphere, then a sea sphere, and then finally the sky sphere. And each of those spheres is 2 crypts. So once we complete this one and the next one, we'll be on immediately to the next overworld. We do the crypts in the reverse order in each 4, as far as what's intended, in each 4 of the spheres that we're going to encounter, because the items that we get either in or on the way to those crypts are particularly useful, and we want to have them ASAP. So, like this sword here, this sword upgrade puts in a lot of work for the first, like, half of this speed run, if not more. So, we definitely want that right away. Hey, all the bomb drops, what's up? Oh, come on. Okay. All right. So, I mean, you see how much I'm relying on this fire wand to help me out with attacking. One other thing that's noteworthy about the fire wand is the amount of power that it deals, or the amount of damage that it deals, is tied directly to your current life total. I'll explain a little more about that after I fight this boss here. Perfect start. All right, that's 6 hits on the first cycle. We just need 5 on the second, and we should be good. 2, 3, 4, 5. We're done. Perfect. Oh, I didn't restart my timer. Oh, well. Okay, well. Oops. Alright, so that's one crystal that's affixed in there. And off we go. Alrighty, so we just finished crypt number 2, technically. Now we're heading over to crypt number 1. Oh yeah, to finish the explanation about the fire wand. So your current life total dictates the power of the fire wand, and it's got a few different tiers that it operates at. There's a tier where you have less than 4 life, a tier when you have between 4 to 8, a third tier when you have between 8 to 12, and then a fourth and final tier when you have at least 12, which we refer to as the good fire, and you will see why it is good when I get it. So, stay tuned, folks. So a little more kind of about this route that we're doing. This is kind of like an older any percent route that is, at this point, compared to the one that you would use if you're doing a world record attempt. This one is notably safer than it could be otherwise. So for a marathon setting, this should prove to be just fine. Should be. So we will find out together, I suppose. Hello, please come here, or not. All right. So what I'm grabbing here is a key. Each crypt has a solitary key that is unique to that crypt. You need that key in order to open the door to the boss's room. So you're always going to be collecting that key in every crypt. Oh, goodness. Okay. Nice. Oh, good. Stay up there. You're going to stay stuck in here. Hopefully I won't have to chase you too far. All right, so here's our first armor upgrade. We're only going to grab... Oh, I'll actually take that. We're only going to grab 1 shield upgrade throughout the run. The other 2 are out of the way and not terribly useful. It's certainly not useful enough to warrant the amount of time that it takes to get them, so we skip them. But we're going to get... we are going to get the highest level of both shield... Hello? Wow. Okay. We're going to get both the highest level of shield and arm... I'm sorry, of sword and armor in the game. I'll take that. Might as well. Oh, man. No, I don't actually need that. Alright. So here we've got the Derpy Dragon. We're just going to come right here, start dropping bombs. And it's dead. Perfect. Alright, so with both of the medallions from that sphere affixed in the temple, we can now move on to the next sphere, which, like I said, is the subterranean sphere. You can tell that it is subterranean because of all of the RG lava that is around. With each different sphere that we go to, we are going to encounter a new set and a more difficult set of enemies in each one. There we go. So, noteworthy of them, at least the ones that we've seen so far here, are these... Not these guys, but there are these blue kind of demon-looking enemies that throw rocks. They are extremely irritating because they do a decent amount of damage, and they're very random. So, especially with the rocks that they throw, so they can just give you a bad time. Alrighty. I'm just hoping this connection calms down. I know I've been stuttering quite a bit, but I'm hoping the changes that I made will eventually just allow for this to be stable. Appreciate y'all patience. Alright, so please don't throw rocks at me. I am not teleporting. This is all being done legit. I promise. Oops, hello. Alright, I stabbed. Alright, so we're picking up an item here called the Rainbow Drop. This is a very necessary item because it serves as like a little bridge to get across any kind of gaps that are one tile wide, which you need to even like get into the next crypt that we are going to be entering in just a handful of screens here, so you will see its importance on full display there. Alrighty. One thing that I need to look for here is a bomb drop. I will need 4 more... Oh, gee. Okay. I need 4 more bombs to get through this crypt and the next one. Now, you might have noticed when I was first starting to throw out some fire there, it was coming out in like these big kind of like flamey columns and whatnot. And then I got hit and those went away. Well, that's just a demonstration of what I was talking about before, the power of the fire wand being tied to your current life total. As you can see, I only have 7.5 segments of life right now, meaning that I have dropped down to the next level of fire, which is kind of these yo-yoing fireballs that I've been throwing since I got the wand. Another really irritating enemy that shows up here in these in this crypt are those ghost enemies that you saw me fighting in the previous room. They're really awful for a couple of reasons. One of them is that they can only be damaged by your sword. Come on, get out of my way. The other is that they will just randomly disappear and stay disappeared for like a second or so, or they could just like instantly vanish again, and you can't do any damage to them. The worst part is, too, is that while they're disappeared, if you grab the hourglass like I just did, they will stay disappeared until it wears off. Now, I timed it such that... Ooh, nice, there's my bomb drop. I timed it such that I made sure both ghosts were on the screen before I grabbed it. If I don't do that properly, then we're looking at just an automatic waste of like 20 seconds. So, definitely bad news. Alrighty. Into here to grab the key. And now we can make our way to the boss of this crypt. Oh, hello. So you notice that a lot of these rooms that I've started to encounter in this crypt will just go completely dark. And there's a solution for that, but I've skipped that solution. There's an item that I could have grabbed on the way to Crypt 4 here that we're in, called the Moonbeam Moss, which is an item in your inventory that you can select and use as many times as you'd like, and it lights up a few rooms that go dark, but I don't need it, and I'll explain why in a minute. But first we gotta fight this boss. Very terrifying boss. Very complex. That boss is what I refer to affectionately as Stunlock Earwig. There's a bit of a flaw in its design, in that it's supposed to be this big, long, like, centipede-looking thing that can move around and actually be pretty difficult to deal with. The only way that you deal damage to it is by hitting its tail segment. Fortunately, you can... all of its segments, from head to the middle and the tail, all suffer from hit stun. So essentially you can just walk right into that room on the right tile, walk straight up, because it always heads straight towards you no matter what, bounce all of its segments against the wall, including its tail, and kill it relatively safely as long as you don't screw up your timing. Simple as that. Hence why it has its name. Alright, so into Crypt 3 we go. This is Bomb Central. This is why I needed to be mindful of having those bombs, because you need 5 of them to get through this one. Oh, boy. Oh, thank you. Okay, that works. So anyway, about the dark rooms. I know my way around all of the dark rooms. So getting the Moonbeam Moss is about a I don't know, maybe about a 25 to 30 second or so waste of time that we are just going to forego, because who needs to waste time? There's one particular room in this run where not having it is problematic, but other than that, it's fine if you know what you're doing. Alright, now we can switch back to this. Get out of my way, guys. So that last room I was in, there's a hole in the middle of the floor, and those creamsicle ghosts will just continually pop out of that thing, and they just won't stop. Very scary. We've got our key. Got to push a block here. Trust me, there's one there. That opens the door, and then out we go. Alrighty. Whoops. Oh, shit, I did it. I accidentally picked up that hourglass. I definitely don't want to touch that one. That other ghost was in the middle of disappearing, so there is a wait here of about 20 seconds or so before it reappears. That was all I needed to do, was just have it reappear. I could stab it once and then move on. Alright, so these are the dagger twins. We manipulate the movement of the one on the right such that he always does that. And then this one, especially if the first one hits you, will always kind of just hang out there in that corner and make this very safe. Alrighty. Alright, so that is both of the crypts in the subterranean sphere. So here we go to the sea sphere, which, of course, is easily identifiable because of all of the water in it. The sea sphere is also where we see a rather significant spike in the difficulty curve of this game. This next crypt that I'm going to do, in my opinion, is easily the most difficult crypt in the speedrun to do. The subterranean sphere, so here we go to the sea sphere. No, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry about that little repeating there. All right. So, before we get to crypt number 6, we've got a few things we need to do. First thing was I collected that life upgrade. Here I collected a bomb capacity upgrade. I can now hold up to 12 bombs, which is very nice. It also fully refills my count, which I believe I only had like 2 or 3 coming in. Now I have 12, so there's a ton of value in that too. And then the last thing that I'm about to pick up here is by far the most important item that I'm going to be getting here. Go. Just come right on up and let me just set you on fire. Beautiful. Alrighty. So what we are picking up here is... It's actually a required item, and I'll explain why in a second. But it's obviously one that speedrunners love. These are the Falcon shoes. These immediately double your movement speed. which is fantastic. Not only that you get to, move through areas faster, but also it makes you more nimble for avoiding enemies and attacks and whatnot, which is going to be really important going forward. Because, like I said, the difficulty curve has been increased, and we don't want to find ourselves in a bad situation. So being elusive is very useful. All right. This is a workable pattern? Oh, no, it's not. Okay, thanks for the bump there. Damage and a half, right to the dome. No problem. All right, that little tile that I walked across there with the 3 skulls, you can't walk on that unless you have the falcon shoes. So we get introduced to these wizard jerks here in this dungeon, and they are very difficult to deal with. We also deal with these enemies here, which I refer to as zombadillos. They look like undead armadillos. They are another enemy that can only be damaged by your sword. We also deal with what my friend refers to as kitty ghosts. They look like they have little whiskers. Kitty ghosts are somewhat annoying. They always move diagonally, so at least you know that part of it. But as far as when they're going to change direction and all that stuff, good luck figuring that out. Very random. All right. So all the way back in Crypt 2, I was very excited to pick up an enemy drop that looked very much like a ring. And it is a ring. In fact, we call it the magic ring. I'm going to be using that ring in a couple of rooms here, and you will see why I was so excited to get it. Because it is very useful. Remember that wizard that I killed in this room here that I was not too happy to discuss just because I don't like them? Well, my disdain for them is going to be on full display because there's 4 of them here, and now there are 0 because we use that magic ring and it transmogrifies them into these little slug guys. Now, these little slug guys are very important because they can also drop rings. I'm going to need another one in this crypt, or I'm going to heavily want one, I suppose is a better way of putting it. So, getting another one of those rings is right under not dying on my list of priorities right now. No, we're just going to kill these guys just to be safe. I don't trust you at all. There we go. Alrighty, go away, bug. We're just gonna... I just want to push these guys out of my way so I don't take any damage from them. I don't really need to kill them. I just don't want to get hurt. Alright. Oh boy, that was not fun. Okay. So I keep picking up these wing items. I actually don't use them in this category, so they're just going to sit in my inventory and do nothing. In 100%, you use them in one particular spot, but not here. I'm taking the time to kill these guys because I really want to see a ring, and I'm not seeing one yet, and I still don't see one. This could be problematic. Fortunately, I picked up a second potion as a safety, just in case, and I do still have an opportunity coming up in this next room to get a ring, because I'm going to need it really soon. But if I don't get it, then we're just going to, well, we're going to have to make do without it, and just kind of grit our teeth and bear it. Come on, ring. I know you're out there. Come on. Show it to me. You're my last chance here, slug. Nope. Okay. Well, darn it. All right. We're just going to do this the best we can. Oh, boy. Oh, wow. I got 2 of them piled up there. That was extremely fortunate. Oh, you know what? I don't want to risk it. We're just going to go ahead and use one of our potions now. We have 2, so we had 1 to spare for sure. Normally I would use it in this room and hope to get even another ring from here, because we're going to want one in Crypt 8, but the fact that I didn't get another one yet, it's fine. There's plenty of time and opportunity between here and there. to get another one, so it's not really a big deal. Alright, we're gonna bomb our way on through here. Hello? Just please die in the fire. Thank you. Alright. Almost done. Got a couple more wizards here we need to face off with. What's really irritating about these wizards, which is going to be much less irritating now that I have picked up this hourglass, is that they're, the shots that they throw out nullify your fire. Alright, so this is Poverty Trinex. We're going to do exactly this here to start out. We're going to push these two heads down into the corner, do as much damage to them as we can, and then hopefully... didn't quite work. Okay, well, this actually looks like it should work. Well, no, it won't. Okay. Oh, my goodness. Okay, we'll just do it this way. So what you want to do is you want to get yourself in between the head and the body. So as it tries to return, you just keep bouncing it against the wall and prevent it from doing so. Will you be the clutch slug? You will not. Okay, that's fine. I was trying to put a ring on it, Big Mike. Come on. Alright. So, what's happening now is... So every time you complete a crypt, you get an extra segment of life added to your maximum. What happens now that we have 12 segments of life is something I referred to before, which is the good fire. As you can see here, these rolling columns are very fast, they go very long, and they go through enemies now. They also deal a boatload of damage, which is rather nice. We are hopefully going to be able to use this to our advantage throughout our trip to and through this next crypt. Now, if I get hit by anything at all, anything, even if it does like a quarter damage and it doesn't even show up on the bar there, I will lose the good fire until I get my life replenished. So, we're really going to hope that that doesn't happen to me here. In fact, I'm going to take a few seconds just to kill them, just to make sure. I'll set your face on fire too, and we'll just do our thing. Okay. So, I'm in here in what appears to be a crypt, which is a reasonable assumption. But what we're really going to do is we're just going to come up and talk to this guy. Speaking of the talking that I've been doing, you will notice it is all in Japanese. That is by design, because the text scroll in the Japanese version is much faster than the versions that use English. Over the course of the any percent run, it probably saves close to a minute to use the Japanese version, so that's why we do this. On the speedrun.com leaderboard for this game, there is no distinction between the Japanese and the US versions. It is assumed that if you want a good time, you use the Japanese version. You're welcome to use the US version, but just understand there will be a time loss. There is no real reason to use it if you don't read Japanese like I do, or I don't, I suppose I should say. It's no big deal. There's no like menus in Japanese as like you need to read unless you're like trying to save the game or something like that. So there's no detriment to it is what I'm trying to get at. Is there a slug here that's... No, not even now they're going to hook me up. Come on. Yeah. You can see how powerful this fire is. It's just absolutely melting these enemies. Which is great to see. I don't even know how to get to these guys. So I don't even want them to drop a ring because I wouldn't know how to get to it. I always just skip that room. Alrighty. Ignore you. Don't get hit by either of you. Oh, back to the fire wand. There's a couple slugs in here, so maybe they'll hook me up, but I took a little damage, so unfortunately, good fire is gone, but so are most of the enemies, as well as their ability to move, so that's fine. around here, push that block, come on in, and there we go. So for those of you that maybe are just joining us or are unaware of what is going on here, this is our third annual Retro Gaming Live TV Feed the Kids Marathon. We are collecting donations here. All of the money that you donate either via direct donation or by bits or subs, that is all going toward not only the Random Acts organization, which is focused on helping to deal with childhood hunger, but is also going to unlock some bonus games, and I'll kind of explain that a little more as soon as I'm done with this boss fight here. I want him to move left, and he does. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. One cycle. Just what you love to see. Oh, come on. The tadpole enemies are extremely frustrating. So, yes, if you use the donate command in chat, you'll get a link to give a direct donation to Random Acts. I will be sure to read off your donation and an appropriate comment on air. So please do that. Also, if you want to donate with bits or do a subscription, gift subscriptions, things like that, you're certainly welcome to do that as well. That is all going to be going into the same pot, if you will. As you can see, we've got the Burger Time bun there. It looks like our chef has made it all the way over to the right side, which means we are going to have a bonus run of Toho 6. I can only assume that is going to be done by I assume that will be Shema. But there's plenty of other bonus runs that you can unlock as well, so go ahead and get those donations in so that you can see those, because we've got a whole day worth of this marathon left on Sunday, so you will want to stick around for that because it's going to be awesome. But also, if you're donating for bonus games, you'd probably want to watch them. All right, so back to the action here. We're in the Sky Sphere now, as you can tell because of all the clouds. We are going to put the Good Fire to a whole lot of work here because it's just going to help us destroy enemies. It's also going to keep us safe, and I'm going to use a technique here. It doesn't really work on these goat wizards, but I'll use a technique which I refer to as fire walking. I'll explain that a little more when I'm actually going to do it, but first we make a little pit stop here. We're going to pop in. We're going to replenish our medicine as well as our bomb supply. And this will take us through the rest of the game, of which are really just 2 more crypts and then a final boss fight, and that's it. So with the Good Fire, and I'll demonstrate it here, we can use a technique that I refer to as fire walking, which is when enemies are in their iframes, they will not deal damage to you. So if an enemy will take damage from the fire wand, and provided they don't have any projectiles that you're incapable of blocking, as long as you stay in the fire, those enemies can't do any damage to you because they'll just keep being in their iframes as long as the fire is touching them, and you won't take any damage from them. So this is a very useful technique that preserves our health so that we don't lose the Good Fire, because like I said, you know, now I have 13 segments of life, so I could take like a half a damage, or even, you know, like 1 square full box of damage and still have it. But you don't want to rely on that safety because there's a lot of hazards to deal with here. This is Crypt 8. This is designed to be the final crypt in the game that you deal with. But we do it first for a very, very important reason, which I will... which I will be showing you here in really just about, like, I don't know, 30 or so seconds. Hello? Please die. Thank you. Okay. No. Thank you. Okay. Set this little guy on fire. So this item that we went straight for is called the Bell of the Sky. I'm going to put it to use right away, and here's what it does. In rooms where you would normally need to kill all of the enemies in it, or push a block in the room, or in some cases do both of those things, in order to open shut doors, ringing the bell overrides all of that and immediately forces them open. So, oh, dang it. Is it still good? It is. Okay. So, as you can imagine, this is something we are going to use a lot for the rest of the game, especially in what are supposed to be the two most difficult crypts to go through. Supposed to be. And it's just going to make life... Oh my god. It's just going to make life a whole lot easier. Oh, that was close. Oops, gotta use this. Use it again. Back to the good fire to keep these guys out of our way. Might as well keep this as long as we can. It's not really necessary from this point forward, but there are a couple of rooms that are going to be made much easier by having it. Alright, so this skeleton dude is really irritating. He's another enemy that only takes damage from your sword, and as you can see there, his movement is very erratic, and it's very fast, too. That's the worst part, is that he's just very squirrely, so dealing with him is not a whole lot of fun. Alright. Okay. And we just walk through the fire. Good. Stay out of my way, please. Again, we just firewalk our way into those stairs. Now, unfortunately, this is the room where I would love to use a ring, because dealing with all of these enemies and these skeletons where I have to fight them with my sword, as well as all of these fireballs that are coming out of these turrets that I cannot block because I don't have the right shield for it, makes for really crappy stuff. But we got through it just fine. Alright. Perfect. So that was a quick kill on that boss. Actually, the guy that you saw in the armor, that is Dearth. That is the final boss of the game. But that's not our final fight with him. What that lady was explaining there was, great job, Jasada, but that was only his illusion. You did not actually fight the real Dearth there. You still need to go to the North Pole to confront him. So that we will do. But first we have to finish up another crypt, and we need to grab one more extremely important item on the way there. Oh, come on. So we're going to go back like about halfway the way we went before. And then we're going to branch off to get a, like I said, to pick up that item that we really, really need. Yeah, what's up, Ant? I'm going to go down from here. Okay, we're safe. This should be fine. That's no problem. Those purple kind of goomy enemies are extremely irritating because, again, they move quickly and very randomly, so negotiating them is not a whole lot of fun. Okay. So we have to use the bell of this guy to make that staircase appear so we can come up here to get the strongest sword. This is a major upgrade in damage over what we had before, but it's also a necessary item because it's the only way that you can deal damage to the final boss. So you cannot beat the game without collecting this. Like, it just kills those guys in 2 hits. With the sword I had before, I believe it would have taken, I think, 6 hits. So, yeah. The upgrade to our damage output is considerable. I mean, so considerable that it, in a lot of ways, it's going to kind of, it's going to kind of trump the fire wand, as far as if you just want to do a whole bunch of damage, and you're not afraid of getting up close and personal. Now, we would like to have... Actually, no, what am I doing? We would like to have the good fire for at least the first part of this next crypt, which is coming up in a few screens, so the fact I've only taken a half a damage is not a problem, but we don't want to see that pile up too much in short order. Oh, hello. Oh, everybody's in my way now. Y'all think you're funny. Here we go. Kind of bait that thing down so we can move it. All right. The bell is going to put in a lot of work in this crypt. It basically trivializes it, is the way that I always put it. Doing this crypt would take considerably longer without it, but we ain't got time for that. What we do have time for is the fire wand, because it's just going to melt all these enemies here, and this stupid bat, and yeah, okay. So now I have to push that block, and that block in that order and in those directions in order to get in. This is the room that I was referring to before, where it's really nice to have the Moonbeam Moss, because doing all that stuff, if you do it incorrectly at all, there is no backsies unless you walk out of the room to reset it and then walk back in. I don't think I need to tell you how much of a time waste that is. Yo, you are hilarious, Big Mike. What are you talking about? Alright, so as you can see, use the bell in this room, use the bell in the room before. We're just bell users. It's our new deal. We went from being a gallant hero to bell choir boy. And it's never on finer display than what we've got here. Oh, whole bunch of dragons popping out of the floor? Nope, bell. Ooh, all these mummies in this pinched down room? Nope, bell. Oh my god, spiders with beaks. What the hell are these things, bell? Unfortunately, we can't use the bell in this room because this is the boss's room, and it doesn't work on these doors. Speaking of the boss, this is a great demonstration of just how powerful this sword is. We're just going to go boop, 1, 2, 3, we're done. And with this, we have our 8th and final medallion. The Temple Mother's saying, well done, Jazeta. You have all of the medallions. I am very proud of you. Now, you need to finish it off. Go through this door, step on this magical portal, go hurtling through the sky, and you will land very conveniently here in this confrontation with Dearth himself. I'm going to go quiet because the music in this boss fight is tremendous. I'll let you appreciate it. Ah, shoot. Alright, so that was close to a perfect boss fight. I missed one hit in the 4th cycle that caused me to need to do 3 hits on the final cycle as opposed to just 2. But we have done it. We have destroyed Dearth. We have saved Princess Aurora. She has pledged her love to us for all of time. But before we can really do anything about that, we need to go say what's up to the fam. Time will be once this screen fades to black after a few text boxes, and right about now is when we say time. All right, let's add a minute to that because I had to do that little pauserooski when my controller was giving me fits. But so that's essentially a high 47. Pretty good, especially for a marathon setting. So I am happy with that. So yes, that was Neutopia for the TurboGrafx 16. A fantastic little game. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I do every time I play it, especially for all of you lovely folks. So, yeah, there we go. So, that does it for this game, but you're not getting rid of me quite yet. I still have 2 games coming up here. The next one is going to be Willow for the NES. I'll be doing the any % run of that, and that is also rather entertaining as well. So I tell you what, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to toss it to a screen while I get this set up, and you know what? You're going to have a couple minutes of downtime. Just chilling. Nothing really going on. I have a fantastic suggestion for how you should pass that time. Go ahead. Click on that donate link that I've put into chat. Toss a couple dollars into the pot. Nothing big, just something. So that, because I mean, every little bit helps when it comes to feeding the kids and benefiting the Random Acts Foundation. So yeah, go ahead and put in a donation. Like I said, I'll read it here on air. If you have something, you know, poignant, funny that you want to say, I'll be sure to say it in this smooth, buttery voice. And of course, it's going to contribute to the bonus games that we've got coming up here. We've got a whole bunch of stuff planned for Sunday, so please help us make it. So, click on that link, give us a little donation, sit tight, and I'll be back in a couple minutes with another video game. I'm going to put on some jams for you, so enjoy those, and I will be back very soon.